What is going on, everyone? It's your guy Cole Jackson back here on Road Graders, brought to you again today on the Russell Street Report, courtesy of DNL Tinting. Check out dltinting.com for all your window tinting, headlight restoration, and car detailing needs. dltinting.com. And today we are going to be ending the preview series for the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll be moving into the weekend, getting ready for the AFC Championship game. If you guys are looking forward to this game, if you guys are fired up, if you're going to be loud at the bank, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new here, and let's get into it. We're going to be talking about the Great Wall of LAMAR. It's been the topic all year. This is my favorite topic, my favorite thing to look at. It's getting ready for the Kansas City pass rushing group. So we're going to take a look at the Chiefs-Bills game. I really want to focus on some of the blitzes we saw, obviously, with what the Texans did last week. I will not be surprised at all if Spagnuolo comes out with a blitz-heavy approach. They'd be crazy not to. It's one of the things that I think you have to attack LAMAR with. You can't just let him kind of sit back. And with our offensive line playing well as of late, I think you got to scheme up pressure. And so we'll take a look at how they kind of blitz Josh Allen, because obviously same mobility going on with, not the same, but similar running quarterback. Or quarterback with the ability to run as LAMAR. And we'll take a look at kind of how they played Chris Jones, because it was a little puzzling to me. And we'll look at some of their other pass rushers. But this is a group that is going to be completely different than the Texans. The Texans were very speed rusher heavy. We focused on that last week, and we really saw it play out in the game. And the Ravens offensive line, especially the tackles, fared well because they do better against speed. Now we're coming to the complete opposite. This is a power rushing group. This is the type of rushers the Ravens have struggled with. Ronnie Stanley's anchor, Morgan Moses getting his labrum attacked, where he's got that torn labrum. So let's take a look at it. We'll get right into it here. So we're going to start with kind of a look at some of the blitzes. You see Allen coming into the snap, and you're going to get the linebacker Bolton coming in on a pressure and from the edge there from the DB. So one thing that stood out to me when I was watching this, and just kind of start with the offensive line look. You got Chris Jones in there as a one tech, and so he's going to get doubled right off the bat here. And so because they're going to call that slide protection, they're calling a center over protection over Chris Jones. Running back has to step up. So this is going to be Justice Hill, Gus Edwards. We're going to have to see those types of protections, because I have no doubt in my mind they'll be calling tons of looks that address Chris Jones. But what I really noticed here is the blitz off the edge that kind of comes in, and it's going to be off frame right there. And so really good awareness here for the Bills offensive line to adjust. So they're doubling Jones. That tackle starts to notice. He's making a call here, obviously, to the guard to overtake the edge player, and then he's going to kick out. Deion Dawkins is going to kick out right there. But one thing that kind of stood out to me, and I noticed their blitzes are a little slow. Like the Texans were kind of dialing it up, and it was well timed. And you can kind of see Bolton come in there, and like Allen's already kind of into his second progression as the DB's coming. It wasn't as well timed as we've seen like the Arthur Millette slot blitz, some of the Kyle Hamilton slot blitzes. So that was something that stood out to me. This overall, just the pass rush feels a little slower. Obviously being a power rush, not that surprising. We'll get into another blitz here, run it through, and then come back and take a look. And you're getting the same thing. You're going to get Drew Tranquill blitzing, and you're going to get another blitz from the DB. And this one's a little bit quicker. You can kind of see better timed here, and they're taking advantage of the numbers game. You're going to get a half line slide here over from the center, and then you got 1-2, and you got to get Cook coming across. So again, that running back protection when he's in, really well picked up there by Cook to get across. And again, the Bills doing a good job. They kind of were working a little bit of a double here, but McGovern coming off and picking up the blitzing linebacker. So, but obviously when you get a play like this, running back picking up, he gets kind of pushed back into Allen here. So, but ball comes out, no worries there. But again, just like Allen's able to kind of drop back, get set, and throw a deep shot. And so it just, again, feels a little bit slower. Obviously you had the one tech here playing like kind of just a push and drop to try and draw the center. Mitch Morris ends up blocking air because of it. And, the rest of the guys handling it well, but mostly dealing with power rush moves. So just a little bit slower in the blitz than we saw against the Texans, especially from the linebackers and the DBs. And so here you're going to get a nice mix mash of just stunts. It's just stunt city everywhere. You're going to get one stunt here from the defensive lineman trying to set a pick here for Bolton. And on the other side of the defensive line, you're going to get a wrap coming in. And I do like this as a delayed blitz. So they're going to wrap and have a 2v2 on the stunt, but then they're going to bring a delayed blitz from the DB. And you kind of see him come in late. And, what I'm noticing the most in these, and what I can't emphasize enough, is really well read by their running backs. Latavius Murray getting right over there to pick that up, seeing that extra pressure come. So I think the one key thing for me in this game is going to be less on the chips. I don't think you need to chip their edges as much. Their edges don't really give you the same concerns as a Will Anderson, a Jonathan Greener did. Karlaftis is a pretty solid rusher, but again, more of a power rusher. You can obviously chip him if you need to, but not necessarily a player you need to focus on. But I think seeing the running back protections worked into here will help take care of some of the interior pressure, as well as some of these delayed blitzes and blitzes coming from their second level. So that was one thing that stood out to me getting ready for this game. We're going to get into some Chris Jones. Yeah, I think these are some Chris Jones clips. And this was something else I wanted to highlight. A lot of low gear from their D-line. So you see Chris Jones is going to take on 2 here, and he just goes into low gear mode as he's reading Allen. He's not trying to rush forward at this point. He's just kind of, almost spying Allen. And so you kind of saw this quite a few times from their defensive line. The only one really going into a pass rush move, if you watch this, is George Karlaftis. So he's going to attack here, and he's on the weak side of the field. They're at this hash mark. And so you're going to get basically low gear pass rushes from the other 3 rushers. Like, he's not trying to beat Dean Dawkins on the right side of your screen against the left tackle here. So that was something that really stood out to me. I wanted to highlight. And then another key piece was just the surprise that I had by the number of single blocks you got against Chris Jones where they're doubling someone else. So it's just a 4-man rush, and they're going to kind of double to the left side and leave Chris Jones kind of to his own devices. And there he is getting a lick on Josh Allen. So it was surprising how often I saw that. If you guys remember the Aaron Donald game, doubled almost the entire game. And, you see the pass rush move there. This is just your typical power rush move. He's going to grab his wrist, push it up, completely take away his leverage point. As he does that, he kind of just works through and just completely beats Osiris Torrance, the rookie. So, that's the type of stuff where if it's me, if I got Chris Jones against Kevin Zeitler, I feel okay. But if I'm getting this type of situation, and he lined up over the left guard a lot, if I'm getting Chris Jones against John Simpson, that's not a matchup I like. And we're going to see it again here. Mitch Morse working right to kind of work. And I mean, it's a little different, obviously. It's not the same offensive line. They're helping the rookie out a lot. But this is how I expect them to try. They're going to try and ISO Chris Jones over John Simpson and hope the Ravens don't slide to him. And you're going to get some plays where, you see him right there. He's getting worked back. But again, a different approach than last week. It's a power rush. He's, working slowly. Allen's able to kind of go through his reads, hit a check down. It's just going to be a little bit slower than the Houston Texans was. Get it again here. Exact same. They're going to slide over, help Torrance again, trying to help the rookie, but leaving Chris Jones against McGovern. And this is something you could expect, I think, in this game, where I think they're going to try and get Chris Jones against John Simpson, and he just works through McGovern there. Obviously, ball comes out. Josh Allen did a really good job of getting the ball out and not taking any sacks. But again, here, you're going to get... It's crazy. The low gear rushes here. Low gear, and the only one rushing is George Karlaftis. So you see right there, everybody else in low gear. And this was just literally pinned off Chris Jones' head. It's right here. So it goes off his head and up in the air as they're trying to go to Latavius Murray. Going to get a nice snap here against the center. That's something I'm hoping to see a lot of, but I wanted to take a look at number 90 here. Nice little rush against, they actually get 2, actually. So they're going to get linebacker, I think that's Leo Chanel. Leo Chanel inside against Torrance, shucked down, and then this is one of the best ways to beat some of these power rushes where they're going to try and, you see the long arm come out here, and he's just going to try and power through him. You just see him pull down right there. That wrist is on the arm, or on the hand, on the wrist, and he's just going to pull him down right there. Just a nice little shuck. And you got another shuck right here. So something that they were focusing on, but really shows the power rush that you're expecting. And then Josh Allen's able to kind of take off up the middle. So that's something I'd really like to see from Lamar Jackson. And the way they're going to rush, they're going to have time if they're going to go low gear against Lamar, which I fully expect they are going to from what we see against Josh Allen. And in those situations, I just want to see patience from Lamar. Let something kind of open. Use your legs to kind of scramble to get, people moving the way you want them to move. But when they do rush upfield, they don't have as much agility. They're not going to be able to break. Just need those decisions like Lamar made last week with his scrambles. I thought he was so proficient at making good decisions. And then you see it again here. Another blitz off the edge. And you got Cook coming. I think that's the same play. Yeah, I must have put the same play in twice. Get another one here. This is just one of the things that they're going to do. So you do have Chris Jones here where they are going to slide to him. And this is on 3rd and long. So, it's pretty much they're empty 5-man protection. There's no tight end and against a 4-man rush. So when they're going to slide over to that side, you're going to get 2v2 on the opposite side. So this would be your Zeitler-Moses combination. And you're going to see them work a stunt opposite Chris Jones, which makes a ton of sense. They're going to try and do that a ton in this game. They're going to work Zeitler and Moses as much as they can when they kind of get those slides over to help John Simpson. So that's really what I'm seeing from their pass rush. I worry a little bit about the power rush, but honestly, it just feels so much slower, and I think it was really apparent in this game. And just to be clear, some of it is slow on purpose. They're slowly rushing. They're rushing in low gear because they want to contain the rushing ability. So in terms of that pass protection, it's actually going to flip the script. I think there's going to be a little less pressure on the pass protection and a lot more pressure on receivers getting open, and that's been a bit of an issue. So we're going to have to see how that works out. We might have to see a lot more quick hitters. They're going to do things where they're going to use L'Jarius Sneed, who's really good in press. They're going to try and press, send a blitz. That's where they're going to try and make their money in the pass rush game. I think if they're going to straight up rush 4, I don't think the Ravens are going to have a ton of problems, especially with Lamar's ability to scramble and get out in space. So that's what I have for you guys. Hit that like button if you like this breakdown. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Are you worried about this pass rush matchup, or are you feeling pretty good? We'll do a little bit of a pulse check. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Peace out, everyone.